CC Dub, CC Dub, CC Dub, CC Dub. Ladies and gentlemen, just in time for the end of 2025, it had been all quiet on the Sportswire radio front when it came to Color Community Wrestling. But just in time before the holidays, we bring CCW back. And you might want to say, we'll bring on a guest who always has elite-like comments and is most certainly a top-tier guest. He'll have plenty to say when it comes to the biggest show in CCW's history, A Colory Christmas Carol 5. We'll talk about some of those matches. We'll most certainly talk about some elite top-tier members. We might even bring up a CCW general manager. And maybe we'll even bring up a guy last week who we acknowledged as a tribal cheese who always says it ain't easy being cheesy. But apparently our guest wants to retire that guy who is a tribal cheese. Yeah, we'll certainly get into that. Plus, who knows whatever else. But, you know, when you think about Sportswire Radio and you think about all the heavy hitters, all the big names, it was over 4 years ago that this man and his company came onto this platform. And look at where his company is since then. And look at where Sportswire Radio is since then as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been nearly a year since this man has come back to the platform that he helped build, a movement that he helped create 5 years ago. All Wrestling Matters. It was this man here, this very man. And we're going to certainly, I'm sure, have an elite tier, top tier like conversation. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time now to give our guest that introduction and start this show off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show, a man that is certainly elite, and a man that has certainly always been top tier. He is, simply put, the owner of the greatest company in all of the UK. He is Barrass, and behind him is the A to the D to the O to the double G, the A Dog. The elite tier is here, my friends. How are we doing? And welcome home.
We are doing very elite. Would you see the dog?
Yeah, that's right.
It's great to be back. 1 year? Over 1 year?
Almost one. No, almost
awesome
1
to be
year.
back.
Almost 1 year. Almost one.
Let's take it to our desk. Come on, cameraman. Let's get it here. I'll grab that off the cameraman
Jeez,
anyway.
guys, you always have something to say. You always are certainly creating controversy, and you've done that right now here in the CCW arena, just going right at it, just going right for the jugular. Boy, it has been a minute, and yeah, how you been? I mean, we know a lot to talk about here before next Saturday's show, the biggest show in CCW history.
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Since the start of the year, Reverend, I was 19 and a half stone, and I am down to around about 16 stone. I'm losing weight. I'm getting fit. I'm getting ready, because I'm ready to crumble some cheese.
Some cheese, but that's not on the schedule for next Saturday. I mean, crumbling cheese, you might want to crumble cheese, but last I checked, that's not on the schedule there.
We all like to live in hope sometimes, Reverend.
Well, I mean, we could certainly come back to that. Obviously, there's some fellows here that would like to say you guys are fake wrestlers, but I think obviously that they forgot to realize that just before you came on, we had this guy Raven, this other guy Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, and maybe the only person in the chat that's fake might be that the person commenting, but we'll give them a pass. Obviously, it's the holiday spirit. I'm sure you'd like to crumble.
We forgive them. We still love them.
Yes, yeah, they're tuning in. So obviously, they may not like it, but they're tuned in. So if they don't like who's here, then they obviously can turn elsewhere. But nevertheless, it has been a minute, and our elite tier certainly has a lot to get to. And I got you, A-Dog, first. I'm going to go right into your match and set the tables for me. Yeah, we're going right to you. You're here. I mean, it's been a minute.
Yeah, that's right.
I got to talk about your match. I have the poster up for it. And for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and wrestling matters, you, Mr. A to the D to the O to the double G, talk to me about what we can expect coming up next Saturday, Colory Christmas Carol 5.
What can we expect?
Yes, sir.
But one thing that someone shouldn't expect is that beach bum Owen Ocean shouldn't just expect to skate in here from Skag Vegas and think that he's going to get an early Christmas present from Saint Nick with a victory on the 20th. I'll tell you that right now.
So you're going to give him a one-way ticket back to Vegas, and what the old adage is, what stays in Vegas stays in Vegas.
You can skate back right to Skag Vegas on thin ice. That's what he can do for all I care.
He wants to thank his lucky stars that his surfboard's going to leave here in a better shape than he will.
Yeah,
something tells me that he won't be necessarily needing a skateboard and coming up next Saturday. But obviously, you certainly, A-Dog, want to end the year with a victory, and especially show why you guys are the elite tier.
Yeah, that's right. Because we are the most dominant force in professional wrestling. That's right.
Exactly.
I certainly wouldn't argue that there's a long history in CCW, and you guys certainly reign supreme. And I do want to plug that this will take place with the doors opening 6:30 p.m., which is British Standard Time, and it's only £10, and a family of 4, £30. Where are you going to get a deal like that? We were talking about this yesterday with the guys in the IMF. They have a show, and it's the same deal in the fact that you can go to the movies, go out to dinner, do all these different things, and you're going to spend 3, 4, 5, 6 times that much. But yet here, all you have to do is spend £30 with a family of 4, and you'll get some of the very best action out there. And I have no doubt A to the D to the O to the double G will certainly look to get a victory here. Mr. Barrass, obviously, you've been, as usual, battling with our GM here in CCW, and I am sure that you'd have a lot to say when it comes to the state of CCW these days, sir.
Yeah, the state of CCW, since it got took from me and handed to the GM, but we're here to try and clean it back up to where it was.
Yes.
That's what the elite tier is doing. Now, people might not see that. The GM certainly doesn't see that. But what's going on with CCW right now? It needs fixing. And we are the guys to do that.
Well, I mean, you obviously have plenty of problems with the general manager. And what if I were to tell you, Mr. Barrass, that the general manager may be making his way to Sportswire Radio before the 20th? I guess maybe just in time for the holidays, or not a good idea? I mean, what would you say to that?
Please don't let her on. She's going to ruin the show. She's just going to talk so bad about us because she's jealous because our team beat Team GM at the last show.
Last month, yes. Team GM
exactly.
Here. I mean, but
she's going to be coming on crying, moaning.
Well, our GM Jamie Wilson obviously would potentially like to address some of the things you'll say tonight. I mean, potentially. I mean, I'm sure that there'll be plenty of things that you will say, and she will have an opinion on. I mean, look, everybody has opinions. You know that. I mean, you've been at this a while. The opinions are certainly a possibility, and I mean,
we all have one.
I got to talk about a match that I'm excited about because we've had her on here. Speaking of people we've had on here a couple of times, and you have, I know, been very proud of her, and certainly has been almost a protege of yours. And I want to talk about it because I have the poster here. Thank you for management for giving us the poster at the very least, and you probably won't disagree with me there on that. But Jakub and the real deal Cody. I mean, certainly the real deal Cody has been on obviously an impressive run. I remember when she came on here for the first time, right as she was coming into CCW, and here we are. We're going to see her in action against the Polish Prince Jakub, and I'm sure you have plenty to say on this match, good sir.
Yeah, you know, Cody, she's been on an incredible run. She's even been down in the WAW training facilities, performance. Yeah, the second day in, straight away, Saraya and me were talking on the phone, and she said, James, this girl is on my show this Saturday. How can I not put her on this show on Saturday? And we were all proud as punch. So we all got together and we surprised Cody down at WAW, and she was victorious as well. She walked out with that CCW Women's Pit Brow Championship, proud as punch, and we were proud as punch, and that's what it's all about.
Well, she's going to continue to look to rise through the ranks, but also the momentum that she's created. But that Polish Prince Jakub, I mean, he's going to obviously think differently.
Now, I'm going to say this about Jakub. Okay. Jakub, as I met that young man when he first came to CCW Academy.
I remember him, yes.
And a shy young man, but he has grown into this confident, ambitious, young adult, and he is just raging and raring to go, and he gives it everything. And he is a dare taker. He's a high flyer. He'll give everything to get the job done. He's not the real deal. However, he is good. He is very good, but he isn't the real deal.
Well, you know, certainly Cody has been very impressive, and the strength and everything that she brings to the table when it comes to her rise over the past year is impressive. And it's one of those matches that both participants want to win, but especially the real deal Cody, who I agree with you on that. There's no question that Cody is going to be impressive for the months and years to come. I will get to some other comments, but speaking of the elite tier, I have to bring him up because this is a man that has been here countless times, and he has a chance to bring championship gold to you guys and add to your arsenal, and I have to do it here now, and that is a man that is an OG, a man that I've had on many times, and he wants that Light in the Dark championship, but it is not going to be easy, and he's going to have to make Mikey McLovin say I quit, and maybe from the OG's vantage point, he'll have to make Mikey McLovin love the words I quit. But what do you think happens here, sir?
Mikey McWho?
McNugget.
McNugget.
Close enough. I mean, you know, obviously people do, you know, there was McLovin in that, what was it, that Seth Rogen movie, but I mean, nevertheless, he is the light.
I will be honest. He is the only two-time Light in the Dark champion. So credit where credit is due. Yeah. Well done, Mikey McLovin. But you've never been up against someone like the OG, the guy that's been around in CCW, that knows CCW probably better than anyone.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, kiss that title goodbye when it comes to the 20th, because it's coming to the elite tier. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So what you're telling me is that the OG, who has been an OG of CCW, like you said, pretty much since day one, is going to use his experience to bring that Light in the Dark championship to the elite tier.
The experience, the plan B.
Yeah, that's right.
There's always a plan B.
There's always a plan. There's always a plan with you, sir. There's always a plan. And you know, I speaking of which, and there was someone that messaged me, and you kind of hinted at it, and he's in the chat right now, and I'm going to go right to him because he was here last week in your fellow's chair, and especially for you, Mr. Barrass, a man that you know very well. The Tribal Cheese, the one and only Tribal Cheese, the legendary Tribal Cheese. And he had a lot to say, certainly, last week, but you especially, sir, and I have to remind you, you and I know each other a very long time. We've known each other for over 4 years. So I realize that I've actually known you longer than the Tribal Chiefs, but I want to remind you, and I want to see if you still stand by that comment you made last week on Sportswire Radio, where you said that you will be the one that retires the Tribal Cheese. Do you stand by that comment still, sir?
I stand by that loud and proud. If he's in the room tonight watching,
he's here.
Hello, Tribal Cheese.
Because you addressed him. He wouldn't miss this. I mean, we saw all over on the CCW Facebook page. I mean, you were sharing our interview. Now, I appreciate that. I appreciate you. But I know that the Tribal Cheese, he certainly will beg to differ about some of the things you said about him last week.
The guy rocks up at CCW. He takes me out, leaves me down on the canvas, unconscious. All the crowd is cheering him. Do you think I'm going to let that go, Cheese? I'm never going to let that go. Time's ticking.
But the time's ticking, but we don't know what his future is. Obviously, he's certainly taking his sweet. We saw a brief appearance with him in the 24/7 championship not too long ago, but we know, obviously, we don't know. I mean, that's the thing. We don't know. And I know you're very busy right now with the elite tier, but you still stand by what you'll do to the Tribal Chief. So I guess what it seems to me, Mr. Barrass, is that instead of us always acknowledging the Tribal Cheese, and it ain't easy being cheesy, really what the Tribal Cheese and the rest of us should be saying is we should be acknowledging James Barrass, because it ain't easy being Barrass. Instead of us acknowledging the Tribal Cheese, it's more acknowledge Barrass because it ain't easy being Barrass. Is that what you're really telling us?
Take it all you want, Reverend. Take it all you want.
I'm just trying to figure it out, because I know the history between you two, man. Now, obviously, outside of CCW, there are certainly some things that we would probably agree with you on that some others in this chat would, because after all, you've certainly called it on certain things that have gone on, and we've seen that here in unfortunately stateside, and we would certainly agree with much of that sentiment. But I know when it comes to in that ring, the Tribal Cheese is certainly going to disagree with many of the things that you felt.
We all have dreams, Reverend. We all have dreams. That guy attacked me. That guy came at me, and I bide my time. It's the calm before the storm, as they say.
You've always been a savant. You've always been a savant. You've been a chameleon. You've got the elite tier. I mean, you want to talk about Rico, obviously. I mean, obviously he's around.
I'm going to quote something that the Big Cheese once said to me.
Okay.
He said to me, Barrass, you're a hard man to kill. They keep coming after you, and you are still here. You are a hard man to kill. He could not kill me in this ring, and he attacked me, and I'm still here. I'm a hard man to kill.
What you're doing, you see, I say clever. I see what you're doing. You're basically saying those out there, and you read between the lines, and that they've tried to take everything from you, and people have said this and that, but you're a man. I see what you're doing there. You're using the outside noise, who's out there, into saying that that's why the Tribal Cheese is not going to be able to take down Mr. Barrass. I see what you're doing.
Because the way I see it about it is, where is Big Cheese? Hard man to kill. He tried to kill you. Well, who's the one that packed their cheese ball up and scattered on back home? Huh?
What? I mean, that's a question.
Is it me? Is it the boss man?
I got you here right now.
No.
I mean,
It's that wannabe tribeless tribal cheese.
That sounds like many of the people that said things about you, the tribalist mindset. But I'll leave some of those things at that. Let's talk about another match here. We'll get to the chat. I realize that I'm sure we'll have quite a back and forth with you and Mr. Tribal Cheese. But a match that I was very excited to talk about with you, and I would love to get both of your perspectives is a match here that's going to be a tag match, but not like any other tag match. It's going to be a tornado tables match for those tag team titles. And you want to talk to me, Mr. Barrass, about what you think about it and more?
Me, my money's on the Mad Hatters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like Shacks. I don't like Belzy. Mad
I
Hatters.
knew that from day one. Yeah, I got that.
Who is Shax? Where's he from? He's from the shadows. He can be from anywhere he wants. He's annoying. He's an annoying being underneath the mask. And Shax is just annoying and he's quiet. Not Shax Belzy. But my money is on the Mad Hatters. Straight away.
Well, I mean, you certainly are not a fan of Belzy, and that would make a lot of sense. And how about the element of a Tornadoes table match? How about that? How about that? What we'll see here coming up. That's certainly adds an element to this match, don't you think?
Well, yeah, definitely. And hopefully the Mad Hatters slam Shadow Inferno so hard that it gets them right back down to the deepest shadows in the core of the earth so they never emerge right back up in the CCW. Hurrah. Bye-bye.
Well, we'll have to certainly find out, but I think this is really an intriguing match because, again, you're seeing an element that we don't see often, a tornado tables match for those tag team championships. And I want to plug once again here, coming up, it'll be next Saturday. The doors open 6:30 p.m. British Standard Time. It is only £10. Think about that, £10, £30 for a family of 4. That shows you.
If it was the Elite, it would have been £30 per ticket.
You'd have to
actually, if it was up to the Elite, it would be £300 per person because obviously.
Now he's talking.
Yeah,
now he's talking. And that was back seats.
Nosebleeds.
I do want to talk about the world title match, but I do want to plug something else you guys have, which I'm sure even you and our general manager, which will be popping up on Sportswire potentially next week, is we have an academy here. And if you want to be a part of the academy and learn how to be like some of our favorites in CCW, like up-and-comers like Cody, like certainly A to the D to the O to the double G, or certainly Xander Zulu or anybody else that's here, Mikey McLovin, and you can go to the CCW Academy, and I know that's Sunday afternoons usually. If you show up, and you can find out more information on the CCW Facebook page, Mr. Barrass' social media pages, and if you want to join Colory Community Wrestling, you can certainly do that, and I would highly encourage everyone to follow CCW, and who knows, maybe you'll be like some of the Elite Tier members on the poster there, Mr. Barrass.
And what I will see,
Elite Tier members on the poster. I mean, certainly some people would have thought Xander Zulu, certainly some people might have thought Mikey McLovin, but nevertheless, you're happy that you have Elite Tier members on that poster promoting our academy.
Yeah, and what I will say, what I will follow up on that is, if you're not near a CCW academy and you're near another school, go to the school, and make that jump, and make a big leap, because if, at the end of the day, dreams do and can come true, and definitely, get your nearest school and train, because this business needs to keep going. We're only here for a short piece of time, then the next lot, and then the next lot. So jump to it, get to it, and live your dream.
That's it. No, listen, absolutely. I completely agree. And CCW is always ahead of the game, and we certainly encourage more from that ahead. I have to now talk about the world title match before we get to the chat, because we have a lot of people here in the chat, and I know you're a busy man because you've got Elite Tier business to get to. And I want to talk about Xander Zulu, our CCW champion. What can you expect from him next Saturday? And just certainly he dethroned a king not too long ago.
Yeah, well, we're just waiting. I think people's just waiting around to hear from Xander. I know the Imperial Dragon, our CCW Carnage champion, current champion, I think, hasn't he called him out to a no holds barred match?
Yeah, that's right.
I heard about that.
So, like I say, just waiting on Xander to respond to him, and that's their.
Well, listen, if I'm the champion, I'm going to take my time. I've got what do I have, 10 days? I mean, so I'm going to take as much time as I can to answer. I mean, I'm sure when he decides, for all we know, he could answer on December 19th at 11:59 p.m. British Standard Time. I don't know.
I guess when you're the champ, you can kind of have a bit of leeway and do as you please.
Many champions walk through the doors, but Xander Zulu might be one of the most impressive yet. And we've said this many times over the years. I've known you. Was this Colory Christmas Carol 5? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I had you on one of the first times before the first Colory Christmas Carol. So, I've seen you. Think about it, right? Look at where we were then. That's true. It's the fifth one. Wow. I know. I know we're getting old.
You're making me feel young, Reverend. Come on.
Well, only you can say that. But obviously, Zadazula, and I've seen some of his footage. I mean, this is arguably one of the most impressive champions, not just in CCW, but UK wrestling right now today.
Yeah, he's a multiple champion, and I think he impresses wherever he goes. The CCW fans love him here, absolutely love him here. It hurts my ears, them cheers, but but yeah, they absolutely love him and adore him in the Northeast. So good on him, because at the end of the day, you know, he's coming out of his comfort zone from where he's from and where he's dominating down in his territory in their areas. And he's coming over to the Northeast to make a name for himself. And by God, he's done that. So hats off to Xander.
Well, we're going to certainly find out some of that. And if you are here on Facebook and if you're here on Instagram, please follow Colory Community Wrestling. I will get to some people here in the chat. I will give you something, and we'll talk about some other things here. Zilla is here first. Zilla has been here many times. You both have been here in the past, and Zilla wanted to say hello. Ethan Dixon wanted to say good evening. My good friends Tom and James.
Guys.
Hello. We read off the fellow's comment that had said we already addressed him, so we can move on from him. Yes, we did have Rhino on here. We appreciate the plug. Yes. Cody, and you know, like I said, Cody, I mean, I expect very big things from Cody aside from next Saturday. And you laid it out. So you and I are in agreement about that. But the Polish Prince certainly still have a different philosophy than what you expect next Saturday, obviously. Yes, good evening. I want to say hello to our friends in the great state of North Dakota from Legendary Backyard Wrestling. Wanted to say hello. That's right. Hello. That's right. I think that's right. We're live.
Yeah.
And, evening. Oh, by the way, you know, it wouldn't be an evening if somebody didn't say bobblehead Barrass. I mean,
it's a good job we're not married, Danielle, because you would have been divorced live on Sportzwire.
You know, I'm not going there. We are certainly not going to go there, but it wouldn't be an evening without your other half. Some would say your better half. To say evening. Listen, I'm sure that there were other comments. Let's move on. In the shadows. You were in the shadows. Actually, today you're not in the shadows. You guys are in the CCW arena at the Wesley.
We're in the light. The elite is in the light.
That's right. The
light. Man for man, blinded by the light. Let me get to some more comments. You got a bunch of them here. Good evening. Thank you. I can't read who it is. There we go. Good evening. There you go. I believe.
Hello.
Yep.
We haven't seen him for a while.
Big bad Bratters in the house.
BBB. Hello.
It's been a while since I've been in the ring. Maybe it's time to show up again at CCW. Here, there's a show next month. Well, there's a show next Saturday also. I mean, but what would be your reaction to this comment here? It's been a while since I've been in the ring, and maybe it's time to show up again at CCW. I mean...
Well, talk to the so-called GM because they took all them powers away from me. But I've got bigger and better things to deal with. So you speak to the board, Neon, and you know you just stay out of our business. Thank you, and hopefully see you next month so we can knock you around the ring a few times.
Okay, well we'll get to some more comments because I have plenty of them, and we'll say the OG has got this all day long for that Light in the Dark championship. You know. It would, I obviously know for you as a group collectively, that would mean a lot to bring home another championship. As I said earlier, when we started the show.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll go in and make further comments. And by the way, the Tribal Cheese wanted to bring up that name that you have heard almost since day one in CCW, Bobblehead Barrass.
Oh, it's starting to stink in here now. Like old moldy cheese because he can't come up with any more material. Oh, I
see the who cut the cheese line. I got that, but nevertheless, we'll move on. 100% Cody and the OG rules. That's right, and only one OG of CC. By the way, he's saying he's the only one OG of CCW here, though. I'm confused. I thought, Mr. Barrass, you've been here since day one. I would have thought. Am I missing something?
Who's that? Is that the cheese?
That's El Fromage.
Oh, God.
Like I said, where did he go? Packed up his tribeless cheese self, and he went back home. So
and, he also wants to point out Plan C. There'll be a Plan C.
Plan B never fails.
Well, there was always a different plan. And Alzilla wants to point out, I am still a fan of the elite tier no matter what, and I still stand on the side with the elite tier no matter what, and I still love, respect, and appreciate the elite tier no matter what. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's right.
But
There
you
you
have
go,
more
Chris.
comments. There's more comments. I'm going to run through everybody. Be patient. The big cheese is the element of surprise.
Element of surprise.
So there's a famous song. It's from Judas Priest, and it's called "The Ripper." And then Rob Halford opens the song. And he says, "You're in for a surprise." It's just the Ripper, and it almost sounds like the tribal cheese is maybe in a way
Stealing lyrics.
steering
Can't come
lyrics.
up with original
Big
material,
cheese,
can
the
you?
element of surprise, where here comes the Ripper. The element,
No.
you're in for a surprise. There you go. There you go. Who else? Yes. Hello to Jade, and they were here Monday. We're here with CCW. The CCW Academy is the best. Yes, it is the great academy. I love being a part of the CCW Academy. So the Academy is representing here tonight. CCW Academy rules. Big Bad Wrestler. That's the case. Also, Cody is awesome, amazing, cool, great, and a talented wrestler and a hard worker. You can say that
The
again.
real deal. Real deal.
Yeah, that's
A
right.
real deal. You know what? And then we had a real deal on Monday's show, but Cody is definitely an up and coming real deal. Triple B says hello. Best wrestling promotion in the Northeast. Let's get to some more comments. I acknowledge the leader of the Team Elite tier, James Barrass.
Yeah.
But obviously, I do want to point out that your better half does not seem to agree.
Be nice, Danielle.
Hopefully, well, obviously you'd like to stay with the better half, and hopefully that this won't maybe impose on the future plans that you and the better half
I
have.
always taught Danielle to be a tough fighter, not a keyboard warrior. Wait until I get home.
Might be a
No,
good opportunity on the
Don't do that.
20th.
Mr. Barrass,
Send her-
you fought against that stuff for the last 5 years. You like
Send her
that
to
one,
Skag
don't you?
Vegas.
Yes, you go to Skeg Vegas.
Send her
for
to
the
Skag
audition.
Vegas.
No,
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 They
no.
can skate off together.
I got
She's stealing your words. Can you put that one back on, Bev?
okay.
Danielle's coming.
I'm
That's
I was
right.
trying to not remind you of that comment because obviously she put in
Oh.
caps. Get it in caps. I am the better
The
half.
better half. That's right.
Mm.
No, that's not right.
Well, we'll have to see. CCW is the best, and the Academy is absolutely outstanding. I've learned so much, and I am always grateful for the opportunity to be a part of an amazing Academy. Fair enough. My speed and agility will overcome any of your goons' egos, but credit where credit is due. The elite tier is talented. It would be a challenge, but have a game. This sounds a little bit peculiar here because in one sentence I heard a few minutes ago that Neon Sky wanted to come back and next month, and then talks about your elite tier, but they'll have a plan. I'd be curious in your response to some of these comments and words: goons, egos, but credit where credit is due, and in a challenge. I mean, you got A Dog right there, A to the D, O to the double G. I mean, but
That's
I'm
right.
sure you have an opinion or two on that, Mr. Barrass.
Make a name for yourself, then you can comment.
The thing is, he sounds a bit confused. He's the neon sky, but to me, he looks like the dark clouds there in that picture.
Well, I mean,
So I think he's a bit confused on what he's wanting to
He's
say.
a Spider-Man fan, isn't he?
Probably.
Well,
Probably
there's a lot of
Spider-Man
people that are
doing it.
Spider-Man fans. I mean, there's a lot of people that, certainly I would venture to say that like different things. I'll get to some more comments because you guys seem to be perplexed by that. When did you crawl from under the rock, Ethan? You jumped ship and hated on CCW. Yeah, I don't know, but let's not talk about that. So obviously, let's talk about the card here. Also. We all get misled at certain times, but I'm glad to be back, and I won't be going anywhere. So, we'll move on. We'll move on. How does that sound? Look up another comment from your better half. You're just trying to act all tough in front of your elite buddies, but we know the truth, and I'll do this for you. Since you haven't been here in a while, I have one of these. So I'm going to do this in this case because, after all, we are going to be at the Wesley Sports Bar. We want to certainly make sure we have family-friendly entertainment, although some may get that confused, but. You know the truth. Get it? With the bleep button now. And that's that one for you, Mr. Barrass.
Right.
And Yeah, but I think you can read between the lines what your better half was trying to say. Maybe that's a sign to bring a new look into CCW then.
You do what you got to do. We know what we've got to do.
Okay, and obviously, there is that. Okay, well, obviously, if you are here on Sportswire Radio, my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. Your voice, figuratively and literally, with all music and wrestling matters. If you're here and you like some of our content, you've seen some of our previous CCW stuff over the years, hit the sub button for us. We had the honor recently to have on ex-WWE wrestlers Raven and Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. And on Friday, we have the opportunity to speak with another member of Raven's flock, Sick Boy. So obviously, you're here first, Mr. Barrass.
Yeah.
That was close enough. It was Lodi, but we have Sick
yeah.
but we wanted you guys first because obviously, we told Sick Boy that Mr. Barrass and the Elite Tier were coming on a Wednesday show, so they had to wait until Friday. I mean, this is an
We appreciate that, Sick Boy. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll tell Sick Boy, we'll give him the check in the mail. Actually, no, we don't have to. But I do want to give something to CCW before I talk to you guys about a couple different things. I know we're getting really, really close to next Saturday. I'm going to put the poster back up for that and talk about a couple other things. But I know it's been a minute since that you've been here, but I do want to give this to you and CCW because CCW goes into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame once again for community service. So there you go.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
That's right.
Well done.
Yeah, there you
Thank
go.
you.
Yes. Well done.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. We'll give you the copy here. And
We'll print it out.
evening, Mr. Barrass. Obviously, a referee wanted to say
The
hello.
official referee at CCW.
Yes.
The only referee that slow counts the Elite. Believe it or not.
And now, well, I'm glad you brought this up because something I could ask, I'm sure when our general manager comes on Sportswire at some point before now and next Saturday, you will certainly be looking for Elite Tier referees in Elite Tier matches, correct? You'll be certainly hoping that Ref Lee will be reffing A-Dog's match, the OG's match, Cody's match, right? Is that what I'm kind of guessing? I know you can't make that decision. I'll certainly make sure to ask that to the GM when the GM comes on here, though.
He's got a good point, Reverend. We might have to go out and find an Elite referee. Plan B.
But I get to ask the general manager to make sure that you may or may not have Ref Lee.
We definitely need an impartial referee. Leaning more Elite side, but got a good point, Rev. We could change the whole game for the final show CCW at College Christmas Carol 5. Could have Mr. Milligan, slow counting us, or we could have an impartial referee that could do it properly.
Or
Thank
maybe
you,
Mr.
Reverend.
Milligan is, looking to do his job, and I guess that's his way of doing his job is to, count the way he counts. I mean, people count differently. You know that. Obviously, there are some people that count 1, 2, 3. Other people go 1, 2.
Well, we do know he likes to speed up when they're pinning us.
Well, I mean, I could certainly ask the general manager their thoughts on this, and maybe you'll I'm sure hear about this summer. I know you'll be busy because obviously you'll be with your better half, making sure your better half stays.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be working hard. Getting ready. We're getting ready. Oh, I'll not be with Danielle. I'll be with the Elite. My better halves.
I think obviously Danielle, you obviously want to make sure that she has a very Merry Christmas this year.
I suppose, Rev.
I mean, lumps of coal are free, aren't they?
No, we don't want to give anybody lumps of coal. No, then you don't want to give. I mean, I understand you might want to give Mikey McLovin or your opponent A-Dog a lump of coal, but obviously your better half can't get a lump of coal. Otherwise, Mr. Barrass, I mean, we don't know where you'll be. I mean, you might literally be needing some coal outside to keep warm.
Hopefully, I'm stuck in a chimney with a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Nah, that's not true. But evening, yes, and Lee Milligan is the best ref in CCW. Mr. Milligan is number 1, and also he wants to point out that he takes no sides and he calls every match down the middle. That's what he says. I mean,
he did count us as winners at Survive to Thrive 4.
Yep.
So, I mean,
we'll let you off, Milligan.
I see. Well, look, he has his right, and referees, their job is supposed to be impartial referees. So, I mean, I would trust his judgment. You may not always agree, but that's why they're referees. They're supposed to be, neutral observers. And here's what Mr. Tribal Cheese will like to say. And I'm going to read it off because you may have to agree with this one. The only positive thing that I can say about Bobblehead Barrass is that he is the most creative genius I have come across in professional wrestling. The wrestlers he made and the companies that are around are because of that man. That is a point that we would all agree. And Mr. Barrass obviously will break the fourth wall for a minute. I still want to talk about next week's show. We'll get to that. But I do think over the years on Sportswire, we've seen countless wrestlers that you certainly gave them an opportunity, and Tribal Cheese is pointing that out, and the success in the individuals you created and the companies that are out there, and yet your company still has stood the test of time, and you and CCW continue to rise. You guys are Colory Community Wrestling after all, and you guys have not only thrived, you've revived other people's careers, and that's why you've survived to thrive.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the best way to come across, because there's always someone out there ready to record what I'm about to say.
I know the feeling. Trust me, we've had big names on here, so if you know it, don't do it. I've had
all I will say is, yes, I have created and helped creating this platform is give many people that chance to learn and grow. What I will say is I might not agree with everyone what I'm about to say, but the ones that I did help and create and give that platform, I don't want to see that not do well, because in a way is that I feel a part of that as well, that in the time and the years have helped putting that together, helping. And if I don't see that still being successful, then it still feels like, what I mean? It'd still be nice to see things that you helped be successful.
You've been at this a long time, and I've known you a long time. And, we're always in CCW's corner. And I know there's not much there on the YouTube channel, but I got a bunch of people anyway. And hit the sub button for the whatever's there on Mr. Barrass's YouTube channel. So go give him a sub. Yeah, give him a sub.
Like I say, I do appreciate that comment. I really do, Cheesy. It is what it is. I suppose this business can open your eyes on certain things, but like I say, you have to survive.
I've seen it myself. I've had guys come on, and it happens. Listen, it's life. I mean, ultimately, we move on.
Yeah, it's life. So
and you need to follow CCW, and also. Yes, that's right. CCW till the end, and that's going to be an end, 100 years from now, and still making future generations of stars. I mean, listen, we're talking about Cody. I mean, Cody's obviously a star. You're very excited about. You got A to the D, O to the double G, always making sure he's ahead of the curve and others. And there's the OG. But obviously, I got to ask you, Mr. A to the D, O to the double G, if you had any final words for your opponent here coming up before next Saturday, what would they be?
Well, Mr. Owen Ocean, you want to get ready. You want to make sure that you packed an extra pair of swimming trunks, because by the end of the night on December 20th at Colliery Christmas Carol, you are going to be stuffed full of coal, as I said, skating on thin ice back to Skeg Vegas. And you best believe that.
He said best believe it. He said best believe it. And something tells me that's a one-way ticket, and do not return. Do not return to CCW and the Wesley Sports Bar. Boy, Owen Ocean, it's safe to say the A-Dog that he's not related to Billy Ocean, right? Because I don't think he's got those same skills, and he certainly might be drowning after what you do to him in that ring next Saturday. Boy, that's another reason why you need to buy a ticket. And it's only 10 pounds. 10 pounds. 10 pounds. And a family of 4, 30 pounds. And you heard what Mr. Barrass said before. If it was up to him, it would be 300 pounds per person. Just like it would be to go into the UFC. Just like to go to a football game around the world. World Cup next year, go up to Mr. Barrass, it'd be 300 pounds. He's definitely not in the Christmas spirit, ladies and gentlemen. And the elite tier are definitely not in that Christmas spirit. And bah humbug if the elite tier don't get their wins next Saturday. Boy, that's a reason why you need to go there and give your thoughts to what A-Dog and the rest of the elite tier will have to do. Yes, there you go. And by the way, your better half does have a comment. So I was going to ask you something, Mr. Barrass, but in a lively episode here on Sportswire, I will say one thing. though he's a hard bobblehead to knock down. That's the point of a bobblehead, get it? He always bounces back bigger and better and whatever is thrown at him. And I'm proud of you for that. So I guess maybe we'll have to put the baton down and acknowledge your better half. Get it acknowledged.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I
I'm very
appreciate
proud
that.
of you, Mr. Barrass. Usually, over the years, you're always, I've seen you certainly battle many individuals on this platform over the years. But I mean, anything you want to say about the elite tier, or the rest of the group, or anything you want to say before I get to some final thoughts? And obviously, again, I know you'll be unhappy about this.
Yeah. I've got something to say. They forgot one individual. The RICO.
I had brought him up.
Terminator.
Yes, to the RICO. Yes.
What? CCW management, board, GM. Where's his match? What's he doing?
Discrimination.
Exactly.
Always.
They're scared of the CCW Terminator. Where's his match?
Yeah. That's right.
Sort it out.
Well, we've got time. Hey, to be fair, we got 10 days. There's 10 days, and a lot can happen. Listen, they always say, listen, a lot can happen in a day. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. CCW wasn't built in a day.
You know the GM likes to play games because we didn't have a match for Survive to Thrive, remember? And it took us knocking on the GM's door and a stupid little kid hitting us in the shin and then shutting the door on my head and then throwing water over the elite.
Yeah, her damn underdashment.
Throwing a bucket of water. Now, I understand some of that, certainly duly noted, but I guess maybe it keeps you guys on your toes, and it's the spirit of competition as to why our GM hasn't yet revealed what RI to the CO is going to be doing next Saturday. I suppose. I don't know. I'm not taking a side. I want to point that out, but maybe that's what our GM is thinking. I can ask the GM that question next week.
By all means, Reverend.
One thing though.
Yes,
don't
sir.
ask her questions that are going to be too difficult for her.
Well, I mean, we don't know what the questions are going to be yet.
I mean, any question pretty much would be too difficult for her, really.
Well, what's the point of having the general manager on? I'm sure the general manager would have a difference of opinion, don't you think? If the general manager wanted to come on, I'm sure that she would certainly want to talk about some of the great things we have going on next Saturday, and maybe the likes of RI to the CO, and maybe our CCW champions on the Zulu. I'm sure, Johnny Flashback or King Angelo or anybody else out there, I'm sure she'll have an opinion on. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you want to hear the general manager opinions, whether it's good or bad? Because after all, you may not be tuned in, but I'm sure you'll have inside sources, Mr. Barrass, that'll be telling you. You know that.
What you don't
I know you a long time. I've known you longer than the general manager. I know you're going to have inside sources that are going to be definitely telling you. You may be busy. You may be busy that day, but you'll have inside sources.
What you don't understand, Reverend, is when it's show day, we hear enough of that woman's opinions. Enough, don't we?
You had plenty of opinions you dealt with over the years in that locker room that are no longer here. You dealt with worse. Come on, let's be honest.
Yes, but she's still annoying.
It's the insistent nagging and whinging and, the elite tier.
You wouldn't think the real deal Cody is her daughter.
No.
She's so much more intelligent.
Well, I would say that, listen, I mean, you can look at, there's many, mother-daughter dynamics that are different. I mean, like you can go up and down the list. Maybe that's what makes our general manager who she is, but also maybe it makes Cody who she is. I don't want to get into that, but I mean, that's for them, I guess, to let us know. But I'm not going to certainly ask the general manager that.
But I'm looking forward to this with you.
And it's great to have CCW back, and we'll have CCW coverage here throughout the next couple of months on Sportswire, because throughout the past year I've actually, not been here much, but we'll be here now for the next several weeks. So we'll work in some seconds. But I'll certainly ask the general manager about her daughter, Cody. I'll certainly ask. I'm sure you'll want to know what the general manager has to say.
You don't want to. Oh, Reverend, I don't know if you know, but I don't think she's going to be happy because her other daughter, Macy, cost them the match, apparently.
I heard about that. Listen, I heard about that. And that's another reason why I could ask the general manager about those things. I mean, obviously, you're going to have inside sources. They're going to be, I'm sure, telling you what goes on because you're going to be busy. You're going to certainly be busy out there. And, your better half is here in the chat, and you're going to certainly be making sure that the holidays go as smooth as possible. But I do want to plug, before we get to a few other things and say hello to a few other people, that if you are here on Sportswire Radio, I have to put the poster up because we are going to be here next Saturday at a familiar place, the Wesley Sports and Family Bar, and it's going to take place with the doors opening at 6:30 p.m. It's 10 pounds per person. I can't stress enough the importance of 10 pounds per person. 10 pounds. I mean, that's it. Listen, you go to the movies, you go out to dinner, you go out and buy your better half a gift, and it's going to cost you a lot more than 10 pounds. But for this, and to see the very best wrestlers around, not just in CCW, but in all of the UK, it is just 10 pounds. 10 pounds. And a family of 4, 30 pounds. And we know what Mr. Barrass already said here a little while ago.
I'm just getting a message through. Apparently, Big Bad Brothers, BBB, who's in the training academy, is going to take over CCW when he's ready in the future. So he wants me to read that out, apparently.
Well, that's good. But that's not gonna be, I would think that's not going to be anytime soon, though, don't you think?
Well, he's got a lot to learn, that kid. But as long as he does it the elite way, I'm sure he'll go the right way.
Well, we don't know. I mean, we will only find out. Time will tell. Time will tell. And I want to say hello to the headline Aaron Blaze, who is tuned in, our good friend from YBW and elsewhere. I wanted to say hello. Thank you, Aaron.
Hello.
Thank you. Yeah, another man that always creates headlines, and we always love. But all right, before we get ready to close the show, and I know you guys are very busy getting ready to get us for next Saturday's show, obviously the biggest show in CCW history. But anything you guys want to say? Anything else you have that we should know about what's to expect next Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
An elite festive holiday.
Yeah, that's right. So everyone, you want to come down December 20th for Colliery Christmas Carol, because not only will the Alpha DOGG, the work of art, send that beach bum skating on thin ice back to Skag Vegas, my elite tier protege, the real deal Cody, who is the Pit Round Women's Champion, might I add, will handle business and put an end to the Polish party that Jakob is going to bring. And on top of that, the OG, he's going to guarantee to come away with that Light in the Dark championship. Another achievement that he can put up on his mantle place. And then finally, the end of the night, even though we haven't heard anything about what he's doing, there is no doubt that the RICO, the Elite Tier Terminator, will be there December 20th, and he will be there ready to terminate, exterminate, annihilate, and handle business on the 20th.
You just dropped some bars tonight. The A to the D to the O to the double G. Just drop some bars there. Terminate, annihilate, exterminate. That's what he's. And on top of that, you said, and I want to make this clear, you said you guarantee that the OG will walk away with that Light in the Dark championship next Saturday. You're saying that the OG is guaranteeing that. That's a big, big thing you just said. That is a huge lift. And I'll tell you what, I'm sure Mikey McLovin's going to disagree with that, but we have that live on the record, Mr. Barrass. And yes, our Pit Brown champion, Cody. I mean, listen, Cody might be just the CCW world champion one day, let alone the Pit Brown women's champion, because what she brings to the table inside that ring, I have no doubt that we're going to see much more. We already accomplished that, but I mean, and before we move on, I do have more comments. Titch is watching this on the slide. You already seen what I've made of. I should be given an opportunity to prove what I'm made of. Well, you have to talk to the general manager about that. Have to talk to the general manager about that. That's a good one, Mr. Barrass, right? Maybe this ref might step between the ropes in a different way. You never know what will happen in CCW. That's a good point. And got a new button. I figured I'd work it out there for you. You never know, Mr. Barrass.
You never know what's on the corner, Mr. Milligan.
Milligan.
Hey, well, you know what? That was not a mulligan of a comment. That's certainly one to keep an eye on. And if you are here and you're on Facebook, do me a favor. Join the Colliery Community Wrestling Facebook group. If you're on YouTube, hit the sub button for CCW. Even though there's only one video on there, just do it. Just whatever you do, hit the sub button for Colliery Community Wrestling. I cannot thank enough CCW for their support over the years. I cannot thank enough Mr. Barrass and all the talent that have come on especially that are here on the roster currently. We appreciate you. We appreciate everything you've done. Cody's been here, the A-Dog. Yes, Rico's been here. The OG's been here. Many others that are currently here have been on the roster. We appreciate you. Hit the sub button for CCW. And even that guy that's technically not on the roster was here last Wednesday. That was the Triple Cheese. And, certainly you did say, and you confirmed that you will retire that man. You did confirm it. You are a hard man to kill. I mean, boy, certainly who knew you and Steven Seagal would have the same things in common? Hopefully you and him won't be Putin anytime soon. Although I think you'll probably even give Putin a hard time. But nevertheless.
To be honest, once upon a time ago, when you Googled my name in CCW, a picture of Putin came up.
I'm sure through the grapevine, I'm sure that is the case, but nevertheless, and good ref goes bad. All right. Before we go, Mr. Barrass, you have anything else you want to say before we sign off?
I just want to finish off and say a very Merry Christmas to you. I hope you have a good holiday.
Next week, so you'll probably hear about this.
I just thought I'd get it out anyways. But I just want to wish all the viewers a Merry Christmas, whether you hate us, whether you love us, whether you like us, whether you don't, just Merry Christmas, because at the end of the
day... Listen, anytime you're on Sportswire, people tune in over the years. I mean, whether they admit it or not, there's always people here in the chat. And, the YouTube numbers, again, you're here. People are here. They go, oh, Mr. Barrass, they got that notification, and you see
Barrass is on. Barrass
is on. Yeah, listen, there's certain people I have on. They go, oh, okay, I got to go there. Cheesy was last week. They're the same thing. What's Cheesy going to say now?
Yeah, but like I tell, I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, especially the elite tier. Right. I wish us all a very Merry Christmas.
I don't think you wish other people that, but before we go, I do want to also point out one more time, CCW goes to the Hall of Fame for the second time as a company. It's the second time. The first company to go in a Hall of Fame twice, and I wanted to do that for all the community service CCW has done always when it comes to raising money for charities, with the academy now giving so many students an opportunity to go out there and learn, and everything CCW has been a part of. That's why we're so happy to have CCW coverage once again on Sportswire, and we're so happy that CCW will go in our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame for a second time. We'll get some more of the talent in the Hall of Fame here very soon. We'll have some segments coming up here because it's cold now in New York, and I don't want to go outside. And I do want to plug myself for a minute because I had a chance to be in the heavy metal version of Rolling Stone, blabbermouth.net, and it was for my interview with some guy you heard of who was the bassist of the band Megadeth, David Ellefson. We had him on before. We told Mr. Ellefson that you were coming on Wednesday, so we scheduled him Monday, Mr. Barrass, because we wanted to make sure that you were going to be here. Like I said, I told Sick Boy had to wait until Friday. I told former Megadeth bassist, only a founding father of thrash metal, he had to come on Monday because you were here Wednesday. So I do want to point that out. But
wow,
if you like,
I'm honored. I'm honored.
Yes, and you can read the article there, and I'll plug it throughout the next few days. But obviously, fellas, happy holidays. I am very eagerly anticipating our general manager. Next week, we'll figure out a day, whether you agree with it or not. And also, hello to your better half. She'll probably want me to reemphasize that. But I'm looking forward to the show. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys maybe after the 20th and seeing what happened and see where do we go from here, because time certainly flies. This is almost the end of 2025, but 2026 to me starts today, because that road to 2026 starts with next Saturday's Colory Christmas Carol 5.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much, Reverend.
You got it. That is the one and only James Barrass, of course, from the elite tier, and alongside of his the A to the D to the O to the double G. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally with all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, hit the sub button for me. Also going to be here, like I said, Friday with this guy. You probably heard of his name, named Sick Boy, only a part of Raven's Flock. And if you also want to see some of my content with previous CCW shows, the ones that Mr. Barrass would recommend you to watch, the ones that he'd recommend you to watch over the years. I think with the elite, Rico and A-Dog and Cody, those episodes, and maybe he wouldn't want you to watch the one with the tribal cheese, but nevertheless, you can hit the sub button for me and check out some of my recent work. I've had, like I said, Raven on here. I've had on Jumpin' Jim Brunzel, Rhino. Thank you for pointing that out, and Savio Vega and a bunch of others. And again, CCW shows that Mr. Barrass would like you to watch. So So hit the sub button for me. And until then, everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all music and wrestling. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see